Hey guys, Lizardlea here for 4 Heavenly Beasts, the Heaven and Earth Design Day 3. I still have a lot to go. So I'm just gonna get straight to it.
Alrighty.
Actually, I could arguably be much more ready, but I'm not going to be, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I did my best. Alright, who is most likely to get in a fight? I feel like not me, just because I'm like...
Hold on.
I would run away.
Physical fight?
That's what I assumed.
Or verbal altercation?
No, I still think that's still you. You did debate for so long.
If you could
See,
spend
I played
15
around.
seconds with somebody who just cut you off on the road.
Oh god, no.
Yeah.
I yell at them with the windows up, so that they can't hear me.
I see.
You are wrong, sir.
I see.
I don't know, have you ever been in, like, a physical fight? Or, like, have you ever started a physical fight?
I don't think I've ever started a physical fight. I have gotten into some altercations of sorts that have escalated to a physical fight. It would be hard to argue who started what at that point.
Okay.
Mostly when I was much, much younger.
When you were a baby?
You too, dear.
I said when you were a baby.
Yes, I know.
Sure.
I can hear, unlike some people.
What? Alright, moving on. Who is most likely to be the first one to die in a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, coin flip.
Honestly, that's what I'm thinking too, because, like... Yeah, I think we both actually have a pretty good chance of surviving one. I don't know about you, but I'd want to stick together.
I mean, yeah.
Because that's, like...
Yeah.
One person can only go so far during a zombie apocalypse.
More people is better.
And then, if need be, I can step up and become a leader, but I am also very capable of being a follower.
Yes.
So it's very nice to have someone who can just do both.
And just having people you trust in general is probably advantageous when you're running around with a bunch of crazy people and zombies.
And I love you, so I wouldn't want to just leave you behind.
Right.
I'm the type of person who, if you tripped, I would be like, and I would pick you up to the extent of my abilities. Like, I would
You should probably just run faster.
I would get you to your feet, and then we would run.
Running faster might just be a better plan.
No, I don't want you today.
I see.
I might leave somebody else behind, but not you. Okay. Oh my gosh, we have so much to record today. You walked very far away, handsome man.
I do that!
Okay. Who is most likely to invent something useful? I would say you.
I mean, invent is a strong term.
I mean, I feel like coding something that
Is that
would...
inventing, though, or is that just putting together something that was already there? Like, I'm not...
Well, I mean, that's what you do when you invent something physical. You use materials that are already there.
Yeah, but 90% of my invention is show me what you did. Okay, now I'm going to make it do exactly what you did without you having to do it. Cool.
I mean, the greatest invention I've done with this channel is the stand I've made for my webcam.
And it is truly a work of art. You're going to have to
not.
include a picture of that.
Oh no, I've already had a couple people ask me to, like, take a video of what it looks like, so one day you'll have to come over and just record while I'm recording and be like, wow, this is my loser girlfriend. Look at what she's doing.
Your confidence is inspiring.
Okay, I'm just saying, you and I both know you don't think what I'm doing is cool.
No, I actually do. Like, you have a hobby, you
liar.
like it, you enjoy it, you're passionate about it, and you're unrepentant.
Aw, I love you.
That's how you should be.
Okay, who is most likely not to take a shower for a week? That'd definitely be me. What? Did you say me or you?
I said me.
No, me. I'm the one who's willing to go camping and not showering for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's camping.
Yeah. Okay, in just day-to-day life?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, then you. I skip like one shower maybe a week. And it's usually just because it's like, tomorrow's the weekend and I'm very tired. I just want to go to bed. I might do that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how long this narration takes and how tired I am after.
That's also fair.
Uh-huh. Okay, 7 best hypothetical questions. Would you rather lose 100 pounds, and by pounds it does mean the money in England.
So dollars.
So dollars.
In
Okay.
freedom units.
Freedom units? No.
What, you've never heard that before?
Stupid. The
That's
pound
why
is-
it's great.
No, the pound is so much stronger than the dollar. Would you rather lose 100 pounds or be given 100 million pounds and have to set it all on fire and watch it burn? What?
You were so confident for a moment there, and then you got to the end, and
I
you're
thought
just
it
like,
was going to be good.
no, it wasn't, was it?
I mean, I'm not losing $100, so...
I mean, it'd be an impressive bonfire, and this seems like a lousy hypothetical.
Why would... Oh,
Money that was given to me to burn was not really given to me.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, unless you say to burn in order to, like, go and spend it right then immediately. Because I could definitely scrounge up a lot of money
I
for my
could buy
dragons.
$100 million in smart investments, yes.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
See, I'd have 1 billion dragons, and you would have more money.
Yeah.
You're better at these snap decisions than I
I'm
am.
kind of cheating. Like, it's not really with the spirit of the...
Well, I mean, if you go and invest it, technically you're burning it. You're not keeping it.
Especially
what,
depending on how
what
you
I
invest
want
it.
to do is put it in a savings account, and that does not burn it.
100 million on 21 black. Invested.
I say, now you have to explain to everyone what that means, because they don't know that.
Do we have time?
We have, like, almost an hour.
Gosh, and to keep it appropriate. Okay, short version. There was a bachelor party for a friend. Said friend had always wanted to play roulette. Another friend had given him advice on what number to bet on, which I believe is 20 black, because that's actually on a roulette wheel. The initial bachelor was very, 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 very wasted, and we made our way down to the strip, and we wound up in a casino, and he wanted to bet, and was very insistent that he bet on 21 black, and bless that roulette dealer's heart, they didn't have us ejected from the casino. So yes, 21 black is always the best bet.
Always. So weird. We have such weird friends. I love them.
He's yours.
No!
Yeah.
He's ours. Yeah, he's ours.
Fine.
He's part of that mail chat in your phone that I'm not in, so... No, he's yours.
But you found him first.
No, you did.
Yeah, that's right.
You dork. Okay. Would you rather eat only one meal every 3 days of whatever you want and only peanuts in between to keep you alive, or eat whatever you want whenever but have no sense of taste?
The first one, I like peanuts.
I would pick no sense of taste, because then I would only eat really healthy foods, and it would be so much easier to just deal with everything.
But what's the point in living? You wouldn't be able to taste pizza.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have to eat it anymore, because I can't taste it, so it doesn't matter.
This is why you don't enjoy food. You don't actually enjoy it. You just tolerate some things more than others.
No, I love pizza.
Do you? Do you really? Did that sound like
since
love?
I started my diet, how many times have I had pizza? The 2 times we've gone to Costco?
I barely mentally log that you're having pizza, so I would assume.
Okay, well, you mocked me that I'd never be able to give up pizza, and I'm doing a pretty darn good job of it. If
Yes,
Costco
because
had
I have discovered
other
you
foods there
don't
that
love
were good,
food.
I could do that. But all they have is pizza.
So you'd give up Roma Deli.
I haven't been there in, since my birthday?
Yeah, but you
It's
would
2
never
months.
be able to go. It wouldn't matter.
No, I could,
It wouldn't.
but
do
I
anything.
wouldn't, because I wouldn't be able to taste it, so everything there is just bread and spaghetti and pizza, which is all very bad for me, so I wouldn't eat it anyway. No, I am dead set. I would pick that.
You are a passionless soul.
No, I want to be healthy. And
Oh my god.
okay, so
But at what cost?
I can eat.
Why not
all
just
of the
chop your
healthy
legs off?
foods
You'll
that I
lose
don't
weight that
like.
way.
No, I can't walk then, and that's just not okay. No, okay, so I have a horrible sense of smell, and obviously I hear everything wrong. So I've always been like, all right, if I had to choose, like, if some angel or someone came down and was like, all right, Liz, you have to give up, like, you have to give up a sense. I would give up my sense of smell first, because I don't freaking need that.
I would give up a dime.
No. And you know that's wrong. So, no, you stop that. I would give up my sense of smell, then I would give up my sense of taste, and then hearing, and then I think touch, and then sight. I want my sight, and I have glasses, so this isn't good for me. What order would you lose yours in, honey? Go. We were just talking about the fact that this thing has really stupid questions, and it leads to us having more interesting conversations. I hope you guys are interested in this. If not, oh well.
I choose death.
No, you have to pick them in an order. Or I die.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Smell... Taste.
Oh, what? What? Taste would be number 2? It's not that important now, is it? Huh. Interesting. What would be next?
Hearing, vision,
And then
touch. Touch maybe before vision. Yeah.
I mean, like, I've read studies on people who have no sense of touch, and they have to have someone with them at all times.
Yeah, I'm very, very well aware of how bad it can be.
Mm-hmm. But I really want to be able to see. Like, I might stab myself a lot while cross-stitching, but at least I'll be able to see that I'm cross-stitching.
Another red piece from Liz.
At least I can see it.
Yeah, you're winning here.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Alright, what's the next one?
If you had a choice between having a tail or losing a leg, which would you choose? If it's a prehensile tail, I'm picking the tail every time.
How is that a downside?
Well, I mean, if it's like a little nub that just makes it different.
I'd still rather have both.
If it just makes it really, really uncomfortable to sit down.
I would still rather have trouble with chairs than be missing a leg.
Yeah, I don't know how you could pick the other one on that.
I've always just wanted to have a peg leg.
I'll become Goku.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Okay.
Okay. What would you do if you only had 100 blinks left before losing your vision?
Blink less? Now you're blinking more.
I hated that movie. What is it? Orange? Something?
Clockwork Orange.
Yes, I hated that movie. But, I think I would get a contraption that would fit around my head, and I constantly have eye drops. I don't like this!
Yes, dear.
I would freak out and lose my vision immediately, I guess.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Alright, so you would just blink less?
I mean, I'd probably make sure my eyes were forced closed for a majority of the time.
Oh. But I mean,
Somehow.
only 100, that's not gonna get you very far.
No, but if I just basically am blind except for the moments I need it, I don't know, I get 100 more uses, and then the last one I can weld my eyes open, so yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Not weld, but whatever the device is from Orange, yeah. I don't know, that's kind of a weird one. I can't think of anything interesting.
Very awkward one.
I would be disturbed.
If you did not exist, what would you be doing now? Not existing.
Really? Is that what it says?
Yes, it says, if you did not exist, what would you be doing right now? I mean, is it asking if, like, we believe in an afterlife of some kind? Or...
I don't know. It seems poorly worded. Next.
I attempted to answer the question. I attempted. How would human life be different if crocodiles could fly?
Oh, Jesus.
It would be terrifying. Oh, well, no, actually. Not really, because crocodiles actually don't have a taste for humans the way that...
Yeah, because they couldn't fly, so they developed a taste for other animals. This is an evolutionary game changer. You think some starving crocodile didn't think, boy, that human looks tasty? Ignoring the massive shifts of evolution that would be, where we wind up no longer surviving as the dominant species, because there's flying crocodiles.
No, wait. Which one is it that's native to North America? Isn't it alligators?
I think it's alligators.
So then we might be okay over here for a little while. Until
They
all
fly!
migrate
They
over
can
here.
migrate!
I just said until they migrate over here, okay? I got there. Calm down. Can you afford to feed a dinosaur? Definitely not.
What kind of dinosaur? There's like tiny lizard guys.
Ask the guy always bragging about how he can cover the tab for everyone. Who the hell does that? I want that friend.
I mean, that would be
It's
me.
you, but you
Yeah.
don't brag about it. You're not
No.
rude about it.
I just do it.
Yeah, that's not rude. That's nice.
I don't want people to waste time arguing over how we're going to... Well, not arguing, but discussing how we're going to split the bill. When will we split the bill? Oops, I've got cash. Can you cut... Just, I'll pay. It's cool. Let's go.
Love you, handsome man. So can you afford to feed a dinosaur?
Yeah, there's tiny little lizard ones. Yeah,
okay,
sure.
well, let's go with a T-Rex.
Well, then probably... I don't know. How much does a cow cost?
I honestly don't know.
I mean, I'm assuming several $1,000s, but I have no idea. I don't know. Well, do you need... Like, can you make them vegan? Some
He's gonna
soy,
eat you.
get like large, like grain. If you could get them on a grain diet, that's probably step one. So maybe like soybeans, a lot of soybeans.
You're so
What does a cubic ton of soybeans cost?
I'm sure someone on the internet knows the answer.
So like assuming a T-Rex eats close to its own weight every, I don't know, month, year. Lizards have low metabolism depending on the weather. And it weighs a couple of tons. I don't know. Probably doesn't cost quite as much as you'd think.
I'm still gonna say no, just because I don't want to pay for that.
Well, yes, that's not the question, though, is it?
So no, the answer is no. And then I don't have to deal with that.
And
obligation.
brontosauruses are herbivores, so just buy some trees. Trees
I mean,
being
I can
hit-
plant them, but by the time they grow, the dinosaur will have already mauled me.
It's a brontosaurus. It's not going to maul you.
I mean, it could walk on me.
That's what apatosauruses do.
I know what a pterodactyl is.
Okay, that joke was the nerdiest thing I've ever said, and no one in the world is going to get it, so it's okay.
Yeah. Would you like to explain?
First of all, this was learned when I was back in elementary school, so it is more than possible that this is out of date due to how dinosaur fossils and research goes. But I am fairly certain that the Apatosaurus and the Brontosaurus were two fossils that were on display until somebody went, yeah, this is the same thing with the head at the different end.
No way!
Yeah, something along those lines.
Oh, I love that.
So I'm oh so witty in the possibly outdated and incorrect fossil humor category.
You're hilarious. Okay. Best existential and philosophical
Philosophical
questions.
question. Ooh.
It's a falafel question.
I have those for breakfast sometimes.
To what extent do you shape your own destiny, and how much is down to fate?
I mean,
Honestly, I'd kind of say half and half, because I feel like you make a lot of your own choices in your life.
first of all, where do you want to start fate? Because, depending on where you are born really does matter, and depending on when you were born really does matter, and those two combined with, gender, race, and all that matters as well, depending on, especially further in the past, or in certain portions of the world. Even then, you have the ability to shape your future, but obviously some people get the ability to do more with their life because they...
We're born at the right time.
Well, I mean, pretty much even if you are struggling in the United States, it's still generally better than, say, North Korea.
This is true.
Can
confirm, I have no viewers from there.
Well, okay, we won't offend the North Korea viewing population like the North Dakotans.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, you would. No, I don't know, I think, if you don't overthink this, the general answer is I think people have a decent amount of control over their fate, but yes, luck does play a portion.
True. Should people care more about doing the right thing, or doing things right?
I mean, while that sounds semantically cool, I don't actually think it's an interesting comparison.
I mean, okay, so it depends on what people think is right, because Hitler thought what he was doing was right.
I mean,
so I'm gonna go with do the right thing.
Well, but then he thought he was doing the right thing, so wouldn't it be do things right instead?
No. He...
See the problem with this question? This is my problem with
doing
it.
the right thing in a moral sense compared to doing things correctly.
An objectively moral sense?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so confused. Okay, doing the correct thing versus doing things correctly.
Okay, to me, doing things correctly means, like, it can be objectively verified to be correct. Like, did you correctly fix your car? No, I turned the keys and the engine fell out. Like, that was incorrect. So, in that case, the correct thing was to fix your car. Whereas, doing the right thing, I feel, is an inherently ambiguous statement depending on your culture, time, and location, and personal morals.
I don't like this quiz. Is a wrong act okay if nobody ever knows about it? I feel like that depends.
I mean, yeah, define okay, define wrong, define nobody ever knows. Like,
I mean, like, okay.
if you murder a guy and
no
no
one
one finds
say
out,
you murder somebody and
it's
nobody
probably
finds
not
out.
okay.
But if he broke into your house and tried to attack your wife and was going to steal your jewels, and you killed him and no one ever found out, I'm not saying you're in the wrong.
That's oddly specific.
You're not married, so I'm not talking to you.
Yeah. Good for me. I get to live.
As does your fake wife. Okay. What do people strive for after Enlightenment?
A sandwich?
It wasn't a bear, but is it shaped like a bear? A bear-shaped sandwich.
No.
It's very
I
important.
mean, this is, I don't know, you can kind of take this anywhere, because, okay, what's enlightenment, blah, 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 but,
I mean, don't most people, once they reach enlightenment, they just
The
try
whole
to
point
teach
is-
other people about enlightenment, and then
well,
they
no,
die?
I thought the whole point of enlightenment, as I understand it, is that you don't need to strive for anything, because you are content.
And you're perfect? Well, and then you
You're
just
not
sit
perfect,
there for
but
the
you are
rest of-
content.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you're where you want to be, so you can just sit there and...
You don't have to just sit there, but you can just do whatever you want and be content with it. Or you know what you want, so you don't need to worry, and you know how to achieve it, and you know how to accept when you don't. That would be enlightened, because you are transcending disappointment and those sorts of emotions, or something. I don't know.
Heck if I do.
I think that's what Buddhist philosophy is, where some of that Hindu. I don't know.
I think it's more like Hindu, because I know a lot of people think that Buddha reached enlightenment, but he was not the one to do it. It has been a long time since I researched that.
Yeah, likewise.
Long time. If lying is wrong, are white lies okay? I think white lies are okay in some instances.
I mean, I feel like the definition of a white lie is a lie that's tiny enough to generally be okay.
Yeah, then it doesn't matter.
So it's already semantically weird, but in general, yes, there's a lot of cases where, like, I'm not saying you should lie constantly or whatnot, or lie needlessly, but I've been in some darker scenarios where the truth was not necessary.
Yep. Same. Can we have happiness without sadness? I don't think so.
Probably not. I don't know. I mean...
How can you ever feel happy if you can't compare it to being sad? Like...
Because your endorphins are flowing through your brain, making you feel great, because you've, like, you know, been... Well, I mean, that's making it overly scientific, but, like, you know, if you take somebody and just let them go on a bender from day one of, you know, drugs and all the other fun things in the world and whatnot, they'll probably know what happiness is.
Does sound happen if nothing is present to hear it? Yes.
Yes.
Does observation alter an event?
That is the misquoting.
You may want to look into the double slit
Yep.
experiment for this one.
Yeah, but the problem is ooh, no. Okay, so...
I feel like I just want to talk about Schrodinger's cat.
Well, that's that too. It's the same concept. So the idea is that someone did an experiment and basically proved that observing an object changes the outcome, and then you get that's the double slit experiment. And then Schrodinger's cat is kind of it's not supposed to be, oh, this is how it works. It's more like, well, doesn't this show how crazy that idea is? And people misinterpret it because our logic behind observing is just viewing it. I didn't interact with the object at all. I viewed it. But from a scientific standpoint, observing means interacting with the object. Because if you think about it, everything you've ever seen is because of photons hitting your eyes after bouncing off the object. That's how light travels, that's how light works, that's how you view things. If light doesn't bounce off the object, you cannot observe it. So you could observe it some other way. You could poke it with a stick, but that's obviously affecting it. You could try to hear it, but then it has to, again, have some sort of interaction. So there's all these little things, and so the point of that, it's the dot slit experiment and the Heisenberg uncertainty principle and a bunch of other little weird things all meld together into the sort of idea that it's still weird, but observing in this case means interacting with, because you're adding energy to the equation, which therefore, by nature, changes the outcome of the equation. And it's really weird in quantum, because with the uncertainty principle, the idea is that you can't measure something and ever really know where it is, because the way you would measure it would require interaction, and therefore would change its location or its velocity along. It doesn't matter, overly complicated. But when you talk about quantum junk, it's the idea that quantum can be in multiple places at once, sort of, kind of. And then when you observe it, it no longer is. Because by nature of observing it, you change its nature because you added energy to the equation, and therefore it is no longer what it was. And if anyone followed that, they probably know more about the subject than me anyways. So, congrats.
You're so smart. Love you.
I just sound it. It's not. I am very, very, very out of my depth on this.
I'm further. Have you ever been in complete and utter darkness?
Yeah, in a cave.
Same.
Yeah, it was quite cool.
It was awesome.
In fact, I'd been there once before. Well, not in a cave, rather, but in somewhere else where it was basically the same. It was someone's basement, essentially, and there's just no light there. And yeah, it's disorienting.
Yeah. She was, the lady who turned out the lights was like, okay, put your hand in front of your face. So, like, you want to breathe out so you can feel it, and you know your hand is right in front of your face. And you wave your hand around, you can't see anything. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure, like, if she had put on night vision goggles, we all would have looked like freaking idiots. Or, like, you can't see me!
Technically, I'm not sure if night vision goggles would work in a cave like that.
I have no idea.
Because I'm pretty sure
I was doing the hand motion, and then it made me think of John Cena, so... Right,
I'm going to stop.
Oh, no, continue.
No,
I don't know. Do they require at least minimal lighting to work?
Yeah, I think the way the night vision goggles work is either they're looking for infrared, which would be heat.
Which so you would need light. You could just do
I think you could do that. But I think the other one's the green night vision that you normally see. I think that just amplifies ambient light. So, like, to us it's not bright, but there is light from the moon at night. Mm-hmm. Or light from city pollution or city light pollution and things like that, and we can't really use it, and it just amplifies the heck out of that. I don't know. I am, again, talking out of my depth. So, continue.
Never have I ever questions. Never have I ever played Never Have I Ever. I have.
I have as well. On a few occasions. It was popular in high school.
Oh, yeah. Never have I ever cleaned up by piling everything into a closet. I have not.
Why are you staring at me?
What's that guilty look for, honey?
Why are you staring at me?
What's that guilty look for?
Why are you judging me?
Why aren't you answering the never have I ever question?
I'm sure I don't need to.
Do I need to get you a beer so you
can
take
a drink? To be fair, in that case, I did not pile all that in there. It accumulated slowly over time.
And it was by you.
Yes, but it is not piling if it accumulates.
It was a pile, honey. It
was
past
a pile,
my knees. It was above my knees.
The act of piling.
That is literally a pile.
Requires a shorter time frame.
No, it does not.
That was like sedentary accumulation over...
No. A landfill becomes a pile, and it takes a long time for that to happen. So, no. You're
because
wrong.
Because they're piling things on it.
Yeah. over
mountain
a
is not a pile.
long period of time. So you're wrong. I have cleaned up that closet, and you have piled more crap into it again. So I'm going to have to clean it again.
No, I haven't.
There were like 3 pillows on the floor.
Other than that.
What are they there for? They're probably shirts hiding in between them because you were like, oh, Liz is going to find these and hang them up. I'm on to you,
I have
handsome.
no memory of putting pillows in there, if it helps.
There are! Oh my god. Okay. Never have I ever pretended to laugh at a joke I didn't get. Oh, I've done that so much. Especially, it's usually because I couldn't hear it, and that's why I didn't get it, and then everybody else is laughing, and I don't want to be that douchebag that's like, what?
So you
I
don't
didn't
know
hear
no
you say it again.
Do you know No Soap Radio?
No soap radio.
Yeah.
No.
So there's a polar bear sitting in a bathtub, and another polar bear walks in and goes, pass the soap, and he says, no soap radio. Yeah, not funny. So what you do is you convince like 5 or 6 friends to laugh when you tell the punchline, and you get a 7th friend to stand there, and you see if they're going to laugh along or not, and then you turn to them and go, what's the joke?
Oh, that's so mean!
Yeah.
I totally get it, though. Like, yeah, eventually there's a point where it's like, do I want to look like a dum-dum and ask how the joke works, or do I want to just laugh along and we can just move along?
And I mean, I've also done it just because, like, I've felt for the person because they're, like, trying and it just fell flat, and you're like, okay, I'm going to laugh because you don't deserve to have utter silence after that.
Yep, I have done that a lot. So, like, I do understand the joke. I don't think it's funny, but they do, and it's like, okay, like...
I mean, that's basically a relationship, right? You laughing
No,
at my
I
jokes.
think you're genuinely hilarious. Bear man.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Bears, I can't believe you.
What next?
Never have I ever had a near-death experience.
I almost drowned when I was
Okay,
a
wait,
kid.
what? I don't think I know this one.
I thought I told you. Oh, I was, like 6 or younger or something. I was at my grandmother's house. She had this nice 8-foot pool. And I would go in the shallow, which is like, I don't know, I guess 3 feet? 2 feet? I don't know. How tall was I?
Giant. Were you taller than the shallow end of water?
Well, yeah, in the shallow end I could stand. So I was allowed to go into the shallow end on my own. My parents were in the, either watching me with me or in, the house watching me through the window.
Through the windows, yeah.
And I wasn't even supposed to be swimming at the time. I was supposed to be waiting for Dad to come out, I think. And the dog, there was a pug, Tasha, and she was standing by the pool. And I got the great idea that wouldn't it be cool to jump over the dog into the pool?
No.
So she was lined up on the shallow end, so I lined up on the dog, and then she moved a little to the left, and I adjusted to line up on her again, and a little more to the left, and I adjusted again. And then I jumped, and I didn't realize that she had gone much farther down the pool than I had thought, and I was square smack dab in the middle of the pool, and I could not swim. So thankfully, my dad noticed I was drowning, because I was, and he jumped in and he got me. But yeah, that was not smart.
Ooh.
I think that's the only one.
Like, mine isn't to that extent. But I do remember being in a pool one time, and I didn't know how to swim. And everybody else in my family was out of the pool, and they were, like, talking, laying on the benches or whatever. And I was just bouncing around. The kind of stuff you do when you're young and you don't know how to swim and you're in the water. It's still fun. And I ended up bouncing so far that my head started going under the water. And I couldn't orient myself to figure out which way was to the shallow end. So, but I was still able to get to the bottom of the pool to push myself up, gasp for air as I went back down again.
Yeah.
And eventually I did make my way back over, and I was bawling my eyes out for the longest time after that. It was absolutely terrifying. Did you put that candle out just to relight it? I
accidentally dipped it in the wax that had accumulated at the bottom, and thus, yes-ish.
Handsome man, you're so bad.
Well, the wick is
yeah, you should just leave the wax alone, and then the wick will be okay.
No, the wick is, bent. And
yeah, probably because you bent it.
I did
the
not.
Wax.
No, I tried fixing it.
By putting it out.
No, that was an accident.
Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know if my asthma issues count as a near-death experience or not. I know there were a few times when I just, like, one of the most memorable ones for me was I had a freaking, it wasn't Barbie, but it was like Barbie-esque. I mean, I still have it somewhere. It was a makeup and hairstyling game. It was like iStyle, Q-Style, something. I don't know. And what?
I don't know. I'm just.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
It was a CD, and it was back when you had your Dinosaur computers.
Mm-hmm.
But I would play it, and the lady that would pop up I thought was really pretty. So I would change her hair, and I would change her eye color, and I would give her jewelry, and such and such. And I remember playing, and then nothing. And then I remember waking up in the hospital.
Hmm.
And, I had the thing on my finger, I had on an oxygen mask, all of the stuff. And so I'd had an asthma attack and passed out, and thankfully my parents found me and got me to the emergency room.
Yeah, it's probably.
And because I had asthma, I was the first person in. Probably because, I wasn't conscious, which is never a good thing. I don't remember if it was that hospital stay or if it was another one, but there was one when it was so bad they made me stay at the hospital for 3 days. And they had to have a tube up my nose, or tubes rather, and it was horrible. My whole life, when I lay down, my nose is always plugged up, so I can't breathe. And everyone, doctors, my family, they would yell at me if they saw me breathing through my mouth, because I was supposed to be breathing in the oxygen in, the nose tubes. And they did not believe me when I said I couldn't, because my nose was plugged up. I cried for, I don't even know how long, the first day, because they were telling me that I would have to stay the night on my own, and it would just be me. And I was in like first, second grade, so I was very, very young. And eventually, I guess I guilted my dad into sleeping in my room with me, and it was on like a tiny love seat. So my dad's like 5'11", and a love seat is too small for me to sleep on comfortably, and I'm barely 5 feet. And he also slept there the next day, the next 2 nights. I know I was there for 3 days, so I was probably only there for 2 nights, but absolutely terrifying. I remember my parents bringing the VHS player over, and I watched The Lion King a lot. But I also remember they made me get out of the bed and walk around. And like I said, I was like first or second grade, and I had to have an oxygen tank with me the entire time. So I think the first day they had me in a wheelchair, and they were just pushing me around, getting me out and about. The second day they had me walking, and they always had to have somebody with me because I was not strong enough to move the oxygen tank. I could not move it, let alone drag it behind me. And this was on base in Germany, so I don't know. I'm assuming there was no children's ward, because every single other patient I saw was an old person. And I distinctly remember in my memory all of them, they looked angry. And they looked angry with me. Now that I'm older, I can understand they were probably just upset, like, what the heck, why is there a little girl in this part of the hospital? Like, these are the people who have to stay here overnight, and she's teeny tiny. Like, at the time, I was just like, why are they mad at me? What did I do? I don't want to be here. It was so bad. So, yeah. I'm going to move on to the next question. As you eat your apple, probably very loudly, I apologize to everyone on the Lizardlea channel for my boyfriend's rude behaviors, but good eating habits. So
Apples are healthy.
Okay. Never have I ever played Candy Crush. I have not.
I played for a few moments because it was on my friend's phone, and I was like, let's see what the hubbub is about, and yeah, I don't.
I've played games similar to that, and like Bejeweled or whatever, and I enjoy them, but I've never been like, oh yes, I specifically want Candy Crush. Like, I probably played them on like freaking Neopets.
Well, like,
whatever version is available there. I
my-
loved Neopets.
My exact reaction was like, okay, So it's basically Bejeweled, except it's designed to purposefully get harder to force you to spend money, as opposed to Bejeweled, which I can just play. I mean, granted, you have to buy Bejeweled, and then, especially back then, although maybe not, depends on, like, if you find a Bejeweled knockoff for free on Flash, on one of a million different websites. So it was kind of like, I don't see the draw. Well, there was no draw to me personally, but I understood why it was popular, because it's like, this is everyone else finding out what me and all my high school buddies, like, it was really weird watching mobile games come out, because it was every game I had been playing in high school on Flash, on websites, coming to phones, so my parents would yell at me for playing Flash games on websites, could spend obscene amount, well, my parents not specifically, but, so they could spend obscene amounts of money on the same games.
Yep.
So it was just kind of interesting how that all worked out.
Gotta love it. Never have I ever crept up on someone I just met on social media. What?
Sorry, what? Never have you what?
Never have I ever crept on someone I just met
Creeped.
on social media. CREPT. That's crept.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
I know how to read.
I know.
Okay, I mean, if it does mean, like, stalking them on social media, oh yeah. I did that with you.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, he looks so hot in his profile picture. He's hot in person. Like, yes. And then I went through all of your pictures, and I was like, oh, looks like he's a fan of Disneyland. This is good.
Yeah, I used to do that, maybe high school, college, but I stopped because, I don't know, the standard, like, hey, I'm generally happy, or the less I look at social media anyways. I have other issues with social media, notwithstanding, but it's just sort of like, why deep dive into it? I use it to remember birthdays that I sometimes forget.
You never get on Facebook anymore.
Except when I know a birthday's coming.
Sure, honey. Sure. Okay, never have I ever lost sunglasses that I was already wearing. Nope, I have glasses, so I don't have that problem. But my dad had that problem.
I've done that as well.
No, okay, so I have been looking for a water bottle for like 5 to 10 minutes when it was in my hand. So, potentially I'm actually stupider than most people.
I never lose anything ever at all.
I'm sorry. Where's your phone right now, honey?
In my pocket.
Is it though?
It is.
Yeah, you had to look first.
No, I didn't.
You didn't just know that it was there.
I wasn't sure if it was my wallet, because my wallet is the same shape and the same density.
Where are your keys? You have to look. You don't know where they are.
On the table.
Which one?
The table where I left them.
Yeah, the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you lose everything.
I don't know what
He
you're
couldn't find his phone yesterday, you guys.
talking-
I had to call his phone for him because I didn't want to go look for it and find it. Because I would have found it.
Slander.
No, it's the truth. Never have I ever gotten stitches.
I think that's true for me.
Even after that car accident?
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
those pictures,
Well, that's the weird thing, is while I was bleeding from my head, it was in my hair, and it wasn't severe enough that I needed to get stitches. The bigger concern was the concussion, because, like, I got T-bone driver's side, or just behind driver's side. And so the side of the car, went into my head, or my head went into the side of the car, depending on how you want to look at it. So yeah, I got a nasty concussion, and I was bleeding, but I was not bleeding profusely. It was just sort of, well, I mean, there was a lot.
Isn't that the worst kind of head wound? The ones that don't bleed a lot?
I mean, yeah, that's why I got the whole, the full car crash experience. The jaws of life, the cutting out of your clothes, the neck stabilizer, the ambulance ride, everything, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And then they gave me a CAT scan, and they determined that, yeah, I'd had a concussion, but I had no hemorrhaging brain injury. They did everything, And then they let me out, and they said, yeah, like, don't go to sleep, because...
That's the worst thing you can do on a concussion is go to sleep.
Yeah, and it's not that this going to sleep causes a problem, it's that there's a lot of symptoms that can occur with brain damage that aren't obvious if you fall asleep because they're happening, but you're asleep, so nobody notices. So like, yeah, don't go to sleep, don't be alone. But I even then I didn't need stitches. Did I need? I'm like trying to think if there was like dental work done that needed stitches.
That's what I have. So, one of my bottom teeth, it naturally wants to be sideways. So instead of being like nice and pretty, it wants to literally be sideways.
Yeah.
And that's how it came in.
Yeah.
My adult tooth. And for the longest time, I just had a tooth on the bottom that was sideways. And I had a severe overbite to the point that you couldn't see it anyways unless I opened my mouth because my top teeth just covered it. And eventually I was taken to the dentist in 4th, 5th grade. I remember it was in Spain. And I was given a retainer on my top teeth and a semi-permanent brace on the bottom. It connected to my 2 big teeth in the back, and it went, and it met in the middle. And it was really bizarre. It had 2 like little loops around like where my eye teeth were, and it just went down closer to my gums, and then it came back up. It was super uncomfortable. It was really difficult to floss with. I'm sure a few of my cavities are because I just stopped flossing because I was so irritated with it. And we didn't have access to those nice little flossers that I have now. Sorry, I'm kind of going on a tangent.
It's okay.
And
it's your
but
channel.
so that brace forced my teeth forward because I have a very tiny mouth. I was literally born with 1 wisdom tooth. Okay, we're moving this over here. Okay, what? Yeah, don't push that button because that's the mute button.
But it looks like it's on.
It's recording.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can see the sound move when we talk.
Yes, you can. Okay, so
if it had all been muted, that would have been sad.
Well, it would have only been from here to here.
Yeah, just there to there.
Calm down. Anyways.
Only a few inches of time.
Precisely. Man, you interrupted me so badly. What the heck was I saying?
You were talking
So it forced my teeth forward because, they needed to make more space for my teeth. Okay, David has to take a phone call. We will be back. Okay, now that the phone call is over. So, this brace was forcing my teeth forward because I didn't have enough space in my mouth in order to get that tooth to turn the correct way. And eventually they realized that they were about to push my tooth literally out of my mouth. And so they went in and cut the muscle that connects the gums by your teeth to your bottom lip. I don't know if there's an actual term for what that is or not. If you pull your lip away from your mouth and you move it back and forth, the wriggly thing, that is what they clipped on me. I don't know how.
That is the best description of that I've ever heard.
I can show you what it is, but I can't show them. This is narration. I'm trying to explain it. But they put stitches in for that, and it was dissolvable stitches, and it felt really nice. When I would eat an icy, I would just pop an inch of it in between my teeth and my lip, and it felt very nice. So that was a very long way of trying to get to that. Eventually, I did get braces. You guys were actually a part of that. And they corrected that, and they moved my teeth a lot. And bless you. And now I have a permanent retainer that it's glued to my eye teeth, and it's to keep my bottom teeth in the front straight. Because even now, after having braces, that tooth is trying to turn again. So, wah wah. Okay, never have I ever had a paranormal experience. I have not. I've been in many jobs where people are like, oh, there's a ghost here. And no, that's just the wind, honey, but okay.
Yeah, I can't think of... I mean, I've had some weird hallucination stuff because I dream strange. But, no, not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't believe in ghosts, so, yeah. Never have I ever woken up and couldn't move. That has not happened to me. I've woken up with, my feet numb, So I feel like I can't move, but I can. I've heard of the sleep paralysis.
It happens to me.
Yeah. Oh, it does? I'm so sorry, handsome. Oh, yeah, no. Everybody I've met who has it, it's not fun. They don't even like to talk about it. So, never have I ever looked through someone else's phone without their permission. I haven't. I don't think I have, at least. Like, the one time I've gone through your phone, it was because I was looking for pictures when we went to Madame Tussauds. Yes. And I made it very obvious. And I even pulled the phone out to you, and I was like, unlock your phone. So.
I may have done that at 1 or 2 points in the past, a long time ago, under less than stellar circumstances.
Well, that's usually how it is.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I don't think I've ever even looked on your phone other than when you're like, hey, look at this picture.
Yeah, see, that's what happens when there's trust in a relationship. You don't have to worry about the person having crap on their phones.
Yep.
Okay. Never have I ever said I am never drinking again. I have not said that. It's just because I'm not a big drinker, so it doesn't matter.
Have I said that?
Probably.
I don't think I've said I'm never drinking again. I've definitely said I'm never drinking like this again.
And then you've turned around and done it, right?
Not since the last time I said it.
Wow, handsome man. You're a smart cookie.
I mean, I usually don't get to that. There was one brief period where, yeah, I was partying harder than I used to, and I was getting to where, like, yeah, I gotta stop doing this to myself. But, I mean, I rarely ever drink as is, so.
Never have I ever tried guessing someone's password. Oh, I have done that.
Oh, I've done
I
that
can't think of particular moments, but I can guarantee you I have.
When I was a kid, like, my parents would lock me out of the computer, and I would figure out the passwords, or yeah, and then, like, it kind of became a habit, just like, especially because I do coding, and, you know, there's some security stuff that you learn over the years. It's kind of interesting just to see, like, you know, I don't do it so I can get into anything. It's just more of a,
can I break their code?
It's just like, yeah, it's a habit of just like, gee, I wonder how I could break this, you know, like.
Never have I ever pulled a push door. Everyone has, obviously.
I mean, yeah, I feel like most people have done that.
Yeah. No, okay, so I watched a video on a man who wrote a book about how doors are supposed to be designed so that you inherently know what it is as soon as you see it. And, oh gosh,
yeah,
I watched it a while ago.
I'm pretty sure it's a TED Talk.
The one I saw was not a TED Talk. Because I love TED Talks. I would remember. Maybe he did. I mean, he was just talking about the book, and he was discussing, you know, if you design a door with a handle that's, you know, vertical like this, people are going to assume it's pull.
Yeah. Elegant. I've watched the same video, and, like, I have huge thoughts on all that, and I don't know what he calls it, but I think of it as, like, elegant design, and that you intuit, just by looking at the object, everything you need to know about its use, to the best of your ability. Like, there's obviously, you can take that too far, which, like, you know, a lot of touchscreen phone interfaces are that way. Where it's like, well, can't you tell that's this? Because it's squiggly here and it's sideways there and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, no, I wish more things took that to heart, because it's kind of important, and it makes life so much easier if you do.
It really does. Never have I ever checked through my phone media to remember the night before. I have not. The only time there are gaps in my memory is when I've had asthma attacks, so...
I have done it twice.
Oh, did you wish you were never going to drink that way again after?
Yeah, both of those nights were really bad. One of them was my 30th birthday, so not that
That was
ago.
Recent. I was there for that.
No, you weren't.
Wasn't I?
No.
Are you about to turn 32? 33? 33. I was not there for your 30th. You'll be there for mine.
I know you weren't, because you would have been there, and it was an experience. And also because there was a girl who was flirting with me, and I totally blew that up, and I have no memory of that, apparently, or
and
very
I am
little.
Okay with that.
Yeah, well, because you didn't exist. Well, Robert did.
I did exist! Just not
I know Robert
in your
life.
life.
Yeah, I knew Robert then. But yeah, no, it was a thing. I've never completely blacked a night out, but yeah, those 2 nights I teleported. It was like, oh, I was here, now I'm here. And I mean, for the record, don't drink like that. Like, you know, I have my two experiences, and I don't even like that I have two. It is very disconcerting to be like, wait, what happened? And I like, the more I think about it and the more time has gone away from it, I have remembered more of it. Like, oh yeah, that did happen, or oh yeah, we did talk about that, or oh yeah, that, so it, like, the big note was a friend showed up and I had no memory of him being there. Because by the time he showed up, I was done. And most notably, by that point, we were at a bar. We'd started at one bar, we'd been to many bars, we had a driver. We wound up at this bar. I was quite gone. I did several embarrassing things. Nothing hideous, but just, wow, that was stupid. And I was getting sick.
Oof.
And, this is a public bar, but it's like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, so there's almost nobody there. And they have a bathroom with, like, 8 stalls, 10 stalls.
Big bathroom.
Yeah, and I locked the main door to it.
Oh, I remember this one, yes.
I have vague memory maybe of doing that. But yeah, I decided this is my bathroom now. Apparently. And
King of the toilets.
Yes. So, yeah, don't do that. It was not fun. I definitely got sick, but I thankfully didn't make a mess or anything. I remember my brother picked me up, and took me home. And,
what did he think about that?
He loved it. He brought a trash bag. We are a forward-thinking family.
So you always have a trash bag with him. Okay, I have to tell you guys now the way I met David's younger brother, which is his only brother, by the way. We went to their dad's house, and we were getting ready to drive to his dad's wedding. And Jake, his brother, came, down the stairs into the kitchen, and he was in, was it trunks?
Basketball shorts.
Basketball shorts.
A classic Jake attire. Basketball shorts and nothing else.
And that was it. And he had this huge black trash bag with him. And he came around the corner, and David and I were in the kitchen, and we were like, oh, hi! So I knew it was Jake, because we knew he was there. So I was like, oh, hi, Jake. And he was like, oh, hi. And he just hawked a huge loogie into the trash bag.
It's like, hi, this is my brother, Jake.
And
Thank you for making a good first impression.
That is exactly what David said. And I was just like, what the heck is going on? Okay. And then it turned out, oh, he had a bit of a hangover.
Yeah, because that excuse is it.
I mean,
my brother is elegance personified. No,
I'm not going to judge your family that harshly. I want them to like me.
Yeah. I don't care.
I remember I was like, well, this is an odd way to meet someone for the first time.
Yeah, we hear. Yeah.
Trash bags. Trash bags everywhere.
We are unique.
I like it. Never have I ever farted in an elevator and pretended it was not me. I don't think I've ever farted in an elevator, so I haven't had to pretend it was me.
Yeah,
or not me.
I can't recall any events of such things occurring.
Never have I ever spied on my neighbors. Oh, I totally have. And it was because the house I was in when my sister and I were living together, the people across from us were just the biggest douchebags. I mean, they almost had a car accident outside at 3 a.m, and they were shouting and screaming at each other. And it was getting to the point where I was like, I'm about to call the cops because I don't know what's going on. And I mean, they did so much. They threw a bunch of their trash on the corner by the sidewalk, and our house was on the corner. So it was just like, no, that's not where trash goes. And so if they were making a lot of noise, I would, just peek through the blinds and watch what they were doing. Mostly because if stuff went down, I wanted to be able to call the cops and be able to tell them what happened. So, You ever spied on your neighbors?
I've had similar sort of events. One, if you air quotes neighbors, because my apartment at the time was my balcony looked out. My apartment complex was several 20, 30 feet up from a commercial area behind me. where there was a bar, a nightclub kind of thing, a small night bar. I don't know what they're called, a martini bar. So yeah, there was one occasion where like a cop actually had to pull a gun on somebody. Ooh. So like yeah, I was watching that one. So I'm like, well, this might be important. And then I actually had a nightmare about this last night. When I lived at my mom's, my window could be fairly easily looked into by the neighbors behind us in another apartment complex. Like their balcony looked just a little bit below my window. Ooh. Wasn't straight in, but it was like I could look down on them was kind of the idea. Mm-hmm. But it was still a little bit uncomfortable, especially because there were times where really bad stuff happened. Like I'm pretty sure a drug deal went wrong, like down there once, and like people got hurt. Ooh. So yeah, I would occasionally like look out my window and like make sure that I wasn't about to like have to roll off my bed to avoid gunfire or whatever. It was not that bad of an area of town. Like I'm making this sound way worse.
Yeah, but still having those fears is still legitimate.
Yeah, it was, and then I have some history with someone trying to break into a house that I was in at the time. So like I've always been a little jittery about that ever since. So,
understandable.
So yeah, like I've done that, but like the full-on spying on your neighbor thing outside of that, no, not really. Like,
oh, okay, yeah, no, I haven't gone that far.
I have known people who like to, they're arguing and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, as long as I don't think anyone's going to get hurt, I don't really care.
Yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it for me. Now, if they have a cat or a dog, I will spy on their pets. Oh my God, he's so cute. Puppy.
Do they know about Walter?
What?
You've told them about Walter,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
We talked about Walter in the last episode, I do believe.
Right.
Because I would rescue him if I was the only human being alive, because he would only have me. And he's just a little kitty. He's a little puppy. He's a very sweet puppy. He's so nice. And cute.
And nice.
So cute. So cute. Never have I ever fallen asleep on the bus and passed my station. Nope, never done it.
I mean, I've only taken the bus maybe twice. Vegas is not a very great bus town to begin with.
It really isn't.
And the one time I took the bus was all the way across town, almost end to end, east to west. It was the longest thing. It was the middle of the summer. It was incredibly freaking hot. And, buses stop every 15 feet.
Yep. And
it was I think it was like a 2-3 hour ride or something with a friend, because, we needed to take the bus. Mm-hmm. Just, it's rough, obviously I have not had to deal with it, but, wow, that's rough.
Yeah, do school buses count in this situation?
I didn't take that either, so up to you.
No. Well, I was going to say, every bus I've taken has been for school. Otherwise, it was like a shuttle bus on base, which, you're not going to fall asleep on a shuttle bus. It's like a 15-minute drive, maybe 30 at the most.
This is more for people who live with decent public transportation.
Well, no, but I was going to say in 7th grade, when we first moved to Vegas, I had a bus ride to Schofield Middle School. That was about a 2-hour drive to school and to home. And that was absolutely miserable. I don't know how I had a life during that time in my life. I don't know what I did. I got up at 3 a.m. That's what I did. And I didn't sleep on that bus ride just because, I don't know, I've never been very comfortable sleeping on buses. I know at one point in Japan, I almost fell asleep on one of the trains, but my whole family was with me, so it was like, if I fall asleep, someone will be awake. And I think that's actually what we did. For a little while, each one of us would sleep, and then when we woke back up, or, when somebody got tired, we'd wake somebody up and take a nap and whatever. It was a long ride home, and it was late, so, No, I've never passed my station. Never have I ever kept a wallet or money that someone dropped.
Have I ever?
Okay, so have you ever picked up a wallet or money on the floor and you've kept it?
Well, yes, because, and I've told you this story.
I'm just reading the question.
Oh, sorry, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, no, go.
Well, you were starting.
It made it sound like you were telling me, I've told you this story. Why don't you remember?
Well, because, so there is a friend who, when I go certain places with them, we find money. The first time we were at a Costco and walking through the parking lot, and we found $400 or $500. And that time we returned it because we could identify the person who had just dropped it, because they were apparently carrying an envelope full of cash. I'm guessing
wow.
$2-3 grand.
Wow, I wonder if Ross screwed them over and didn't pay them on time.
Yes, indeed. And the wind had caught it, and
Ooh.
so we helped them recover the money.
Nice.
However, there was another occasion where we went and we found a $100 bill lying on the ground in the parking lot, and like we looked around, we did try to identify somebody, but I feel like if you ask, "Hey, is this your?" But there was
Anyone
nobody.
would say yes. If
Yeah,
they're smart.
there's a point where I'm kind of like, well, I don't see anybody. And then another occasion where we went to the movie theater at the hotel across the street, and there's a casino cage there, so we were walking by the cage.
I remember this.
And I saw a $100 bill on the ground, and I thought, oh, ha, ha, very funny, because it was crisp and fresh, so it was really flat with the ground. And I'm like, either it's a fake 100, or somebody's, like, put down a sticker, or, there's no... And so we picked it. It's legit. And, like, I stood around for a second, and, like, look, there's tons of people walking around. It's a casino. Like, anyone lose $100 is not the conversation.
That is never.
We were right in front of the cage, and I, like, made eye contact with the cage people, and they all just kind of shrugged, and I was like, okay. So, no security came. I kind of, like, what do I do? They're like, and so I kept it. So, yeah, I tried.
Money I found on the ground, unless somebody came over and was like, that's mine, I've always kept it. I believe I found a couple wallets in my day, usually at my work, so it's just like, I was always the manager in this situation, so I would open it up, and I would find the person's ID, so that if they came in and you're like, oh, hey, my name's Crystal, I dropped my wallet, it's black, blah, 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 and I'm like, that's weird, the picture in the wallet is of a black man and you're a white woman. Huh, I don't think so. I would never go based off of just the description. I would have to compare it because I don't trust people.
Oh.
If they had tried to jack it from the person and it ended up falling on the floor and, somebody else grabbed it, whatever, I didn't chance it. What were you going to say?
I have another wallet story. I did, with an ex, we were in a grocery store and we found someone's wallet. And we even found I want to say their concealed carry or some sort of, like, rifle or gun license in it. Like, holographic, anti-forgery stuff. Like, this thing cost money. So, yeah, I was trying to figure out... I forgot why we didn't give it to the grocery store. I think they just said, like, well, we don't know what to do. It was really, like, they were really unhelpful. It was like, we'll just put it in lock. And I'm like, well... okay. So I took it instead and we went home and I managed, like, I looked through it and I was, like, looking for an address or a way to just get in contact with him. And so I found a way to contact him. I can't remember exactly how. It was through something. I called him and was like, hey, I've got so-and-so's wallet, let me know. And then we met at the grocery store and I gave it back to him.
Good.
Yeah, so, excitement.
I remember when I was going to UNLV, I found a credit card on the floor. It was just in the walkway, like, from the student union to the parking garage. I was, like, 3/4 of the way to the parking garage when I found it. And I was like, yeah, no, that's going to be a problem. So I walked all the way back to the student union because I knew they had the lost and found there. And I turned it in. And the lady, I want to say she was only a couple years older than me, but she was like, oh, God bless you. Most people would just take it and, try to use it. And I was like, yeah, I like to think if I lost mine, someone would turn it in rather than do that. So... that's what I'm doing. That's what I would want them to do. I mean, in this day and age, most people, it's incredibly easy to immediately turn around. Oh, I've lost my card. Cancel it.
Yeah.
But I still would rather have that turned in. So on the off chance that they don't know they've lost it, at least it's not being used. Or, well, I mean, I guess that's me trusting the people at the student union. I don't know. I like to believe that person... got it back or figured it out and canceled it and it didn't matter. Never have I ever called in sick to work because I was hungover. Nope, I have not done that.
I don't believe I have either. I've called in sick to work because I didn't sleep or other things, but never because of drinking.
I've called in sick to work because I wasn't sick, but I pretended to be.
Yeah, no, I've done that too. Or I've actually been sick, or I've been tired, or I've not felt well. All
Okay,
the usual
yes.
stuff.
Calling in for real because you're sick. That no one cares about that.
Well, not
They only care if you lied.
not enough sick to really justify it, or whatever. Like, yeah, I get the sniffles and I'm lazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the full-blown flu. But no, drinking? No, I don't think so ever.
Yeah, never, and I plan to keep it that way. Especially because I really, really love my current job. Okay. Never have I ever deleted a post on social media because I had a low percentage of likes. I have never done that. I don't care about that, honestly. Like,
Yeah, no,
I don't post it for likes. I post it because I want to post it.
I also feel like if something does get downvoted, like leaving it up is kind of better integrity. Like, yeah.
Well, I don't think it's
likes.
necessarily that it has to be down liked. Like, it's not just Reddit.
Well,
It's
no,
like if you
no,
post
I'm
on
talking-
Facebook and not enough people like it. If you post
Well,
on
yeah,
Instagram
no.
and not enough
I'm
people
not
heard it.
I'm not posting it for likes anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I post all of my
But
Instagram
all 4 people
pictures.
who view it didn't love it? How dare they?
You're so funny. Never have I ever made a wish at a fountain. Oh, I have. In several countries.
Yeah, likewise. Well, not in several countries, but yes, I have.
I feel like that's the important part, you know?
Yeah.
Over the years, I have always believed in the power of that. Never have I ever been stood up by my date. I thought I almost got stood
Okay.
up at our first... Kidding.
Once again, I thought you were in the theater. I thought I was so late that you were already there. I forgot that they had assigned seating, and I assumed you weren't going to sit up front. So I was just like, I better go in, see the movie, and fix this afterwards.
Oh, wait, so you thought you were gonna, like, you would watch it somehow, like, seated without me, and then afterwards you'd find me and be like, hey, how'd
No.
you like the movie?
Yeah, I thought you were already in there. So, like, because it's assigned seating. I don't know how popular it is elsewhere, but there's assigned seating. So, yeah, I got there. I got there roughly on time, but then the stupid ticket thing was giving out the wrong tickets. They had an automated ticket kiosk, so I'm like, well, I'm running a little behind. I better go through the automated ticket kiosk. And I got my ticket, and I went up, and I'm like, wait, this is the wrong ticket. So there's a line. Not a long line, but the people at the front of the line don't know what they want to see and need to have a 14-minute quorum to decide what they want to see and then argue about just that
Yep.
group.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, there's me and 2 other people who are having the same problem of, it gave me the wrong ticket, it gave me the wrong ticket. And everyone keeps going up to this machine getting the wrong ticket, even though sometimes I'm telling them, hey, don't do that, it'll give you the wrong ticket. So I am now hideously late for Thor Ragnarok, by which I mean, the movie might actually start.
It did start prior to me getting in there because he texted me and I was like, oh, you're
Well-
in the theater. I don't even have my ticket yet.
I had assumed, because I misunderstood your text, and I'm like, oh, she's already in there, she's already seated, and then it says, oh, pick your seating. And I'm like, oh, crud. All the seats are basically taken. I have no idea what seat she's chosen, because you have to pick your seat, and there's, like, I can't just pick somewhere random up in the middle of the crowd where there's, like, just a one-off. So I just picked a seat up close, because it's never bothered me, and figured, well, I'll find her after the movie. She'll be in there, I'll be in there, we'll both see the movie, and I'll apologize, and we'll go get food, and we can talk about the movie. We just, it's not like you talk too much to somebody when you sit next to him anyways, depending on what you're watching. Then again, Thor Ragnarok, we made a whole bunch of jokes. So, yeah. And then you came up and you were like, where the heck are you? And then came up and found me and sat next to me anyways, which was very attractive.
I was looking for the tall man and I was like, there's a tall man.
Yeah.
Here's hoping it's David.
Yeah, no, for the record, that, not, getting upset about it or, oh, okay, I guess we're just fixing the problem was, yeah, A+.
You're welcome. Shows how into you I am.
Mm-hmm.
Even from the start. It's because I love you.
So, yeah, I did not stand you up.
At first I thought you were, because then I was just sitting there waiting, and I was like, I had an icy, and I was just like, where is he? Like, I like to be in the movie theater prior to the movie starting, so I hate the previews, but I would rather watch them than miss the first 2 minutes of the movie. That is me.
So, yeah, no.
So I had to watch Thor Ragnarok later with my brother, and then I saw the first 5 minutes of the movie, and I was like,
Makes sense.
yeah.
I Have I been stood up? I've had a lot go wrong everywhere else in the dating process, but I don't think I've ever been stood up. Like, I've been ghosted on, like, supposed plans. Like, hey, we'll meet on Thursday. Let's plan on Thursday. And then Thursday comes and, okay, where do you want to meet? And then silence. But I've never actually had somebody say, let's meet somewhere, and then not meet up.
Yeah, I can't say I've had that happen either.
Or at least not without reason.
Yeah, not without it being some kind of
And
emergency.
I'm not just talking oh yeah, I have a terrible case of the don't cares, or whatever, you know.
Alrighty. Never have I ever tolerated a bad movie to impress my partner. I have!
Which one, dear?
Oh, honey, I don't even remember what they're called. Who was the... I tolerated those stupid freaking movies about the guy who did stuff at Red Rock.
Okay, to be fair, those are dumb
They're
by
horrible.
design.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, like, tolerating a movie. I think it's more fun if it's tolerated something they like.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't like the first couple episodes of Peaky Blinders. Grew on me, and I love it, so that's what's important. Although that's not a movie, that's a show. I did not like The Irishman. That was a horrible movie. I didn't tolerate it, though. I complained about it the entire time, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it for you. I don't know. How about you?
I don't think so. I mean, well...
Honey, what about Hannah Montana? That was
I
not for
tolerate as a it wasn't to
if you
impress...
went to the movie theater...
It was not to impress her. It was for her.
Oh, it was to impress her.
So, like, to me, this is that, you know, oh yeah, I love that, rather than me saying, we are dating,
I will
and
watch this
therefore
with you.
I will do this for you, but so help me. So...
Okay, yeah, well, no. I didn't pretend to like Peaky Blinders to impress you. I pretended to like it because you were really hot. And I was just like, if I don't like one of his favorite shows, like, how could this ever work? And I'm glad I stuck around because it grew on me and I like it now. So, booyah.
Fair enough.
11 newlywed game questions. Oh! Which one of you is the first to wake up in the morning?
Me.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah?
I am awake before you in the morning.
No, it says the first to wake up. You're not the first to wake up, honey.
If the morning is afternoon, then I am.
That's not
See,
true.
I shift the paradigm of when the morning starts.
No,
and
it doesn't
therefore...
work that way.
Because otherwise the answer to this is obscenely obvious.
Yeah, that would be me. Every day. When it comes to replacing the toilet paper roll, should the paper go over or under?
Don't care.
It should, because it's over. It should be over.
Don't care.
It's the worst thing when it's under. That is just...
I don't understand why.
Your dad's place always has it under, and I'm always just like... So, it's horrible. I hate it. Who is terrible with directions and gets lost easily? I think I'm actually okay with directions.
You're good with
If
directions.
I'm given directions, I can
Yes.
follow them. But
You
if
take
you
a while to
dropped
acclimate.
me somewhere that I'd never been before, I would get lost.
Even in town?
If it's somewhere I've never been before, yeah.
Are we okay?
Yep.
Okay. Liz just spilled
I'm
nail polish all
attempting
over
to
herself.
polish my nails as I talk.
Whatever makes you happy.
Oh, wash you. Okay, nail polish on the inside of my shirt. That is okay. Yep, that's okay. All right, continue. As you were saying,
What are we doing?
the directions. I'm getting lost.
Yeah, no, I'm good with directions, and I'm pretty good
And
with...
yet, the last 2 times we've been to Costco, you lost the car.
Yeah.
Or, well, Costco and Albertsons.
There's a big difference between walking to your car. I mean, actually, the simple truth is, and, like, nobody believes me, but oddly, when I'm with other people, I offload the directions onto them. Like, oh, okay, you'll tell me what to do, or you'll know the way, or whatever. Or you'll remember. But
And
when
yet,
I'm alone...
everyone you know is bad with directions compared to you.
No, not everyone.
Courtney and I.
Yes.
The two of the most important ladies in your life.
Yes, fair enough.
How's your mom with directions?
Good.
Oh, okay.
Yes, my whole family is good with the whole directions and understand. Like, I know I'm pretty good, especially if like I just don't even look at my phone. If I trust my judgment, I am usually right, and I'm pretty good at like reversing a route I've been to. By like the second time I've been there, I can usually find my way back and to it. Your parents' house continues to give me trouble, in part because
All the construction.
well, no, I've usually got the one thing that kills me is I've usually got the right idea and I don't trust myself.
That's true.
And then the other one is I approach your parents' place from 3 different directions. And so and I leave from 2. And so it's always been like I'm pretty like I could definitely find it given enough time, but usually that I'm going there to meet you and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to your parents' house. I got to be on time anyways." I don't leave it to chance of me screwing it up. So I've never forced myself to just get comfortable with it and be like, "Yeah, okay, I know the area." Even though I probably could do it, I always freak out. And I'm like, no, I need my phone. Is it this turn? I think it's this turn. Is it this turn? Is it this? It is this turn. Okay. And then, is it this one? So, yeah.
Every time we leave from our house to go to my parents' place, he always tries to go... He always tries to exit the highway at the exit I used to take when I worked at Ross. And I'm like, no, honey, my parents don't live here. I used to work here. We're not exiting here. I don't want to see them. Okay. Among the 2 of you, who believes in ghosts? Neither. We already talked about that. Which of you is pro at fixing things in the house? So,
I fixed the microwave.
So, handsome man, how long did it take you to fix the microwave?
2 weeks.
Freaking liar. It's like 8-9 months.
2-ish weeks.
No. You're full
Give
of
or take
crap.
some amount of time.
Full of crap. I like how we both immediately thought of the microwave.
I've also fixed... I mean, changing a light bulb doesn't count.
No, because I can change a light bulb.
I
But
did assist
You
John
refuse to work with step ladders, so you have to do the light bulbs because I can't reach them.
I see. I do not recall if there were any other such...
But the microwave.
Have I done any other real home repair? I really haven't had time.
I mean, have we needed to repair anything else?
I mean, I've done a few small jobs that you probably weren't aware of, like changing out the valve in the shower.
Yeah, no.
Little things like that, but yeah. I've done car stuff.
Well, yes, that would be you, but that's not in the house.
Yes. Well, if you
In the garage.
if you count the garage, or if you drive crazy enough.
Oh gosh, please don't. Which spouse is a picky eater? Oh, that's definitely you. It's gotta be you.
Yeah. Okay.
Your hatred of cheese, big problem.
Yeah, that's why I'm the picky eater, miss. Like, it has spice or flavor. Please get away from me.
Okay, no, I'm getting better about that. All right, I preferred the meat that you made the other day that had a little bit of spice on it.
I boiled meat in water, ladies and gentlemen.
And that was the last time, and I preferred the one before that.
Oh,
the
no, you're
spice
taking
on
that
it.
one. You're talking about the Thai food.
No.
No?
I'm talking about when you just cooked food on the stove.
Oh, yeah.
There was one where you were like, oh, I didn't put anything on
I
it.
stir-fried beef, and then I put some seasoning on it, yes.
And I liked that one more than the one that you didn't put seasoning
Yes.
on. So I'm doing better.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Slowly but surely. So don't be mean. Who is better at remembering important dates? Surprisingly, I think that's me.
Oh, absolutely, that's you. I'm terrible at important dates.
See, I'm not.
I
good
put
at
things in,
dates.
like, that is the one upside of the smartphone. I was always very worried I'd, like, overuse it to game and browse and get overly distracted. And in some way I have, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But thank God for the ability to put things in, because while I can remember the immediately important stuff, like meet so-and-so on Thursday at 3, or, you know, haircut appointment at 4, or whatnot, it's the, like, month plus out. That time doesn't exist in my world. There are things occurring 3 weeks from now, and then there is a hazy fog off into the future, where theoretically things have been requested, and I'm bad with birthdays, I'm bad with holidays, and my new job hasn't helped because we don't celebrate those. I am completely oblivious to what is happening.
It's true, you are.
Sports events, yeah, I'm bad.
So, the nice thing is that I'm also not great with dates. Like, I remember that January 31st, 2017 is our anniversary. I remember that. I know my birthday. I know your birthday. I know my family's birthdays. I don't know anyone else's birthday in your family. Not a single one. I think you have one other family member whose birthday falls on a holiday besides you.
Not to my knowledge.
No?
But I wouldn't... I only know Jake's.
You know your brothers. Okay, that's a positive.
I'm pretty sure I know my dad's. And I always have to look at my mom's. I hope she never hears this. I'm sorry, Mom. I love you.
Your mom will watch
There's
this.
like
I'm
just
too
this
much of a
chain
loser.
of like events where it's like, oh, what holiday am I buying presents for now? I know somebody somewhere needs something within the next 2 weeks, and it's just like it makes it all blur together, and I'm very, very bad at it, and I shouldn't be. Continue. That was the one upside of Facebook was, look, I can never forget now.
As long as you log in.
Yeah, well.
No, okay, so I was going to say, yeah, that's one of the nice things about both of us not being great with dates is, you know, there aren't a ton of expectations, and then on the off chance one of us were to forget, like, if you had forgotten our anniversary was on the 31st, I would not have been upset with you over that. Because I'm like, yeah, I can understand forgetting. It's one day out of 365. Like, I'm not going to hold that against someone. That's kind of ridiculous. Which brings me to the store manager I had when I was at Ross. He was even worse than dates than you were. Like, he couldn't remember his own birthday. He couldn't remember his kids' birthdays. He was not good with that. And his fiance, wife, whatever, I don't fucking remember, and I don't really care. I don't know. I guess he had forgotten their anniversary for like the second or third year in a row, and she wasn't talking to him. Like she was really, really angry, and I didn't know this, but he was like, you know, can I ask you a hypothetical question without you getting mad at me or upset or, you know, like offended? And I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. I don't care. And it was, you know, I know you have a boyfriend. If you guys got married and he forgot your wedding, you know, your wedding date, your anniversary, would you be mad at him? And I was like, no, but I'm also the kind of person that I understand what it's like to forget dates. So I'll be like, oh, hey, our anniversary is next week. Do you want to do anything? So that there isn't a worry that someone has forgotten. You know, like either we both forget or I remind you and then we both know. And he's like, okay, well, so if you forgot to do that and he didn't remember, would you be angry? And I was like, no, I still wouldn't be. It's not worth it. It's one day of the year. And, oh, God forbid we have to celebrate it like 2 days late because I remembered and didn't say anything like a douchebag. I mean, a lot of times you have to celebrate things late anyways because of what day of the week it falls on. Like if something falls on a Tuesday, you're probably more likely to celebrate it the Sunday prior or the Saturday after. It's kind of how it is. And I guess like she was refusing to speak to him, and he was buying her flowers, and he was doing all these things to make it up to her. And all I could think was like, she knows he's really bad with dates. Why doesn't she text him like a week prior, 2 days prior, hey honey, you know, our anniversary is coming up. I want you to plan something. You know, I want you to surprise me. I feel like if you have that big of an expectation that you're going to be this upset about it if it doesn't happen, it is your job to just tell them to do it.
Yeah. I don't know, I mean, I will say I always feel guilty, even more guilty, because I could definitely, you know, like put it in my phone, and that would help a lot. But yeah, like, I feel like it's a team effort thing because, yes, you should, in this day and age, we have a lot of technology that can help you remember stuff, and, you know, thank God for that, and you should use that. But at the same time, if they're not, like, you should probably say something and say, like, hey, guess what?
Yeah, like I think if your expectations are that high, you should say something. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I have never met that woman, and I don't want to, because I thought that was just really horrible. And I know that there are a lot of people like that. I just literally, you know, lean over to the person and be like, give me your phone, and you put the reminder in their phone. Have a reminder that pops up, you know, a month prior, a week prior, and then the day of. And then if they forget, you can be like, well, you used your phone today. It popped up with a reminder. Why did you ignore it? And then you can be mad about that. But it's ridiculous to me. What would you do to make it a perfect Sunday? Okay, so what is your idea of a perfect Sunday?
Not having to go to work on Monday.
I was going to say a 3-day weekend.
Nothing makes Sunday better than knowing you actually get to enjoy it.
Yeah! Instead of, like, being on edge and, like, I have to go to sleep so that I can go to work tomorrow.
Have I done my laundry? Oh god, I haven't. Yeah.
It's 9 p.m. Who gets to hold the remote?
What's
We don't
going on?
watch TV,
Yeah.
so, like, we watch shows on the TV,
Netflix
but
and
it's
everything
through
else.
Netflix,
Yeah.
it's through Amazon, and usually we watch them together, and we usually agree on them, so, like, he's usually the one that has the mouse and the keyboard, but that's just because where we sit on the couch, he is closer to the table that has them on it. On the incredibly rare occasions that I'm closer, I'm the one who clicks, like, next episode, or, oh, we're gonna pause it so we can go do something else.
I mean, keeping in spirit of the question where who picks what we're watching, like, even in this day and age, it's pretty easy for you to watch something on your iPad and me to watch something on my TV or whatever with my headphones in or whatnot, or your headphones in, or you'll watch on your laptop and I'll watch on mine or whatever, and then further, whenever it's like, oh, let's watch something, we usually have a show that we've agreed upon and we're watching through it. One of us is rewatching it and the other one's forcing them to watch it. At
Well,
gunpoint.
Well, you're making me watch Expanse right now. Prior to that, I made you watch Supernatural.
Yep.
Prior to that, you made me watch... What was before Supernatural?
We were watching The Americans together. We
Together,
both picked
mhm.
that.
No, there was a show that you were making me watch. Because whatever it was before that, I made you watch Buffy and Angel.
Yeah, I know.
You liked that
No,
show.
it was a lot. I liked it. It was a lot.
Darn right you liked it.
The Expanse, 4 seasons. Buffy and Angel, how many combined?
13.
13, uh-huh. And The Expanse has 10 episodes a season. How many episodes a season of Buffy and Angel?
Anywhere
13
from
to
12 to 16, 18, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, you know what?
Now, granted, The Expanse is longer up. No, wait, is Buffy an hour?
45 minutes.
Okay, so it's not that different.
The Expanse, man, it's
She's
like,
not
oh, The
finished-
Witcher! The Witcher!
The Witcher, yeah, The Witcher. She's not done with, or she's just starting season. She has not started season 2, for those of you who have watched The
I thought
Expanse.
I did. Didn't, no?
You watched the
I
finale,
watched the
of
finale.
season 1.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I was hoping you would like it more by now. I do understand, like, it's very interesting because I now better understand, like, you care a lot about characters.
I do.
And
I
more
know,
importantly,
it's
you
horrible.
care a lot about I don't just mean the fact that you care about them and you cry when they die. I mean the fact that you need likable characters. Like, having likable characters is equated to how much you like the show.
Pretty
Whereas I can watch shows about terrible people because I still find them interesting sometimes because the person is terrible.
I mean, I liked True Detectives, and my favorite character in season 2 was the head gangster guy who
Yeah,
was
but
not.
he's the gangster with a heart of gold, basically.
That's
like,
true.
Even then, he's kind of
See, like...
And you hated the True Detective season 1. Well, that was one of the few cases where you at least were on the fence, which goes to show it's great writing.
I
where
liked them.
Even though he cheated on his wife.
I was really angry about
Yeah,
that.
you
I'm
were.
still
But like,
angry about that.
yeah, exactly. But that was one of the few cases where like you still liked the show, even though they weren't good people. They were just people. You know, like you really like having a good guy to root for, or a hero, or a whatever. And, you know, you don't need them to be perfect. You don't mind if they're flawed, but you definitely don't like...
I like them to be good.
She doesn't like anything by Scorsese, which is, of course, all about all these horrible people. Wolf of Wall Street, The Goodfellas, Casino. Well, she hasn't seen Casino, but I'm not sure I'm going to bother, because you barely liked The Departed.
I loved The Departed until the last... Okay. Spoiler warning. I loved it until they killed Leonardo DiCaprio's character. I was very happy when Marky Mark got his revenge and killed...
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark. When he killed... what's that actor? The one that killed Leo. What the... I don't know his name. I can't remember. I really liked when he got revenge on that
Matt
guy.
Damon.
Matt Damon, thank you.
Matt Damon.
But I would have been much happier if Leo hadn't died. And we are coming
That would've
right up to the end.
Made such a worse movie.
But Leo's a great actor, and I don't want him to die.
That is the end of For Heavenly Beasts Day 3. I got 6 hours and 17 minutes of footage. I have already showered and I am ready to go to bed, so I'm going to go to bed. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video.